Hello and good morning, YouTube. You're tuned in to the Katie Talk 101 show. Go ahead and hit that like button when you come through the building. And please, please make sure you share if you care. Okay, so I wanted to get off into this topic. And this is a topic I feel like it's kind of been in me to talk about because of all of the dysfunctional things that I see, especially when it comes to just being online, looking at the blogs, looking at all of the different dysfunctional things that go on in the relationships of today that we see every single day. So I wanted to get off into this topic talking about, are we better off single? Are we better off alone? Because looking at the dynamic of how some people view relationships, sometimes I really feel like in certain cases, and I'm not talking about everybody relationship because everyone doesn't deal with and waddle in dysfunction, but for the most part, the majority do. Okay, I wanted to get off into this video. I'm just going to be sharing little examples here and there about dynamics of relationships and how certain people view relationships and just the dysfunctional mindset that could never set us in a healthy place when it comes to being in some of these toxic relationships. Okay, so the first example that I wanted to share. Good morning, Rich. He said no one wants to be alone. Yes, that's true, but sometimes being alone is better than putting your life at risk. It's better than being in toxic situations. Toxic situations can shorten the lifespan of your life. It can have you in stressed out situations, make your health bad. And a lot of these relationships are ending with people being took off earth. It's unhealthy all the way around. I wanted to show you this first example here. And it's I think this is a reel I got off of Instagram. You guys listen to this. I'm gonna play it all the way through. Listen to this and tell me what you think about it.
You have a good woman at home, like why do they still feel the need to mess with multiple women?
Most men cheat just based on the availability of the situation. If we're gonna be real, a lot of times it's not even necessarily what she's doing, is that these options are available to me and I'm interested in something different. Me and you might have been together 9, 10 years or whatever the case may be, and you didn't showed me every possible move you can. And then I run across this woman who's willing to just throw it at me any different type of way, and just curiosity alone is gonna push most men to go out there and say, let me just at least see what it is.
I want to stay on what Trill said for a second though, because we hear about these divorce rates, right? 80% of women are choosing to divorce and different things like that. But maybe a part of it is there's no real incentive other than your morals, right? There's no real incentive to being a good woman. We sat here and we listened to somebody say, oh, if you stay at home, you cook.
What?
Hold on. You stay at home, you cook, you clean, you do this, you do what you think a good woman is supposed to do. And you said after 9 or 10 years, it just may be curiosity. And it's like, could you imagine looking on the other side of things? Can you imagine being at home, doing what you got to do, raising your family, raising your kids, and your man degrade your relationship, throw away everything that you built over? I mean, it might feel different. Like,
Why do men, when they have a good woman at home, like why do they still feel the need to mess with multiple women?
Most men cheat just based on the availability of the situation. If we're gonna be.
So did you hear that? This sounds like he's speaking for all men because he's the only man on the stage. So he's speaking for men. If y'all don't think like that, please comment. If you watch the playback, comment and say, hey, this man don't speak for all men. But right now, I see these podcasts, and a lot of men are thinking like what this man just said. A man cheats because the availability is there. He's looking at the availability of when he can step out and disrespect this relationship. And I'm thinking, why do people want to subjugate their self to just being in a relationship just for the sake of it? It's like a lot of people are actually scared too. Like Rich just said at the very beginning of the video. He said no one wants to be alone. But why? Why don't you want to be alone? I'm not trying to push people to get out of their relationships and their marriages and be by themselves. But what I'm saying is the current people who are out here currently single, why don't you want to be by yourself? That's the thing that I always think about, because I see a lot of people in these podcasts and they shame, especially when it comes to single women, they shame single women and say, "Oh, just don't know men want you. Oh, you just mad because you single." Just like when the situation about Simone Biles and her husband, everybody seen, even the other men who were on a panel interviewing Simone Biles' husband, seen how that man was embarrassing her. And people was like, well, to her, he is the prize. Girl, this man sit up and basically told you he did not want you. He sit up and told everybody how you drove 45 minutes to see him because he is the prize. That ain't no prize to me. You're not going to sit up and embarrass me. And I feel like this, even, sir, even if you felt like you were the prize, why would you sit up here and say this and talk about how you didn't even want to get in this relationship and how you fought against it? A lot of women be up here getting embarrassed, and then they sit and wave their ring and say, at least I got a ring, at least I got a man. It's not a flex, baby. It's an embarrassment. So I wanted to share this part right here. And it says, are you happier single or in a relationship? And this goes on to say in this article, it says, being alone can be rewarding because it gives a person time to invest in themselves and invest in their interests. People might choose to spend time alone because they are introverts. That's me. I'm such an introvert. I am the type who flourishes better being alone. I don't know if anybody out there can relate, but it's like I can get out here and handle my business the way I need to handle it. I can stay focused on everything I need to focus on when I'm actually by myself. And it's like when I'm dealing with a person or I'm in a relationship, I get sidetracked very easily when it comes to certain goals and certain things that I'm trying to achieve. It's like I get sidetracked sometimes when I'm dealing with other people. And it also say people may choose to spend time alone. Oh yeah, because they're introverts. And then it says others prefer being alone because it feels very overstimulated, but basically overwhelming being around other people. So a lot of us, have you ever seen a person, a man or a woman, have you ever seen a person who had a lot going on in their life, and then you will see them up and get into a relationship, and you'll be like, dang, they was on the road before they got with them. And then I looked up, and it's like, what happened? What happened to their life? It's like they got stopped cold in their tracks. All of their goals were set to the side when they got with this particular person. So it's like, I don't feel like people are just better off by themselves, but a lot of relationships we choose, a lot of us are better off by ourselves. And you hear a lot of people say, like when I was looking at the Tessa Risa, who the F did I marry situation, I heard her say right around a pandemic, when the pandemic happened, that man that she had just met a week or so prior, they were trying to figure out who place are they going to stay at, because she simply said, I did not want to quarantine by myself. I did not want to be alone. And I when I listened to her say that, it just sounded so sad to me, because I'm like, what is it about you that you don't like so much about yourself that you don't want to be by yourself? It's crazy. It's really crazy when I heard her say that. I wanted you guys to listen to this though. Listen to this. And in this video, I'm gonna just be talking about the mindset and the dynamic of men and both women, and how it's so toxic that until we get our dysfunctional mind frame together, a lot of us are better off being by ourselves until we get our shit together. Listen to what this man said.
A lot of men, what we do is we look for women to use their bodies to take us away from the pain that we're feeling. And this is why so many men are sleeping around with so many women and breaking so many women's hearts and souls, by the way, is because we don't realize that we're using the woman as a drug. And it's as a drug to help us put a Band-Aid over the real issue, which is our fragmented hearts and the fragmented parts of ourselves and the scared little boy that's inside of ourselves that we haven't had the courage to deal with yet. And until we have the courage to deal with that, we're going to keep using women, alcohol, power, success, everything, until we as men decide that we finally have the courage to go the one place that we haven't had the courage to go into, and that is into our hearts.
And listening to what he say, how men use women bodies to make themselves feel better. A lot of men fight with their testosterone. A lot of men fight with the inner child within them. A lot of people fight with past trauma, past abuse, a lot of things in their past. And this was just a man speaking on men using women bodies. Okay, so we're taking it at face value with what that man just said. Look, shout out to Rich over in the comment section. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up if you like the video. It looked like Rich ended up saying being alone is safer. Yes, sir, being alone is safer, and I'm gonna get off into that in a second. But what this man just said over here on TikTok, men use women bodies and women use men presence to escape the issues that they're dealing with. So a woman will use just the presence of a man to validate her as a woman. That's why you see a lot of these, what people call quote unquote pick-me's. You will hear pick-me say, and I'm just using this for example. I remember when the situation with Tiny and T.I. was going on, and you heard about a lot of abuse that they were doing to women and whatnot. I actually heard a woman say, hey, a lot of them women wanted to be abused. This is their fault. So you have these women like that who are pick-me's, who just for a male's validation, just for a male's attention, she will throw other women under the bus. That's basically the definition of a pick-me. So you have a lot of women who are out here like that, just seeking the validation of a man. And at the end, they never end up in a good standing situation, because at the end of the day, the same men who they're seeking validation from, whether it's the male co-workers or just men that they know in their life, when you seeking their validation, all they're going to do, they're just here to use you. They're just here to use women to boost their ego. That's the main reason why a lot of men use women. Just like the guy was just saying, how a lot of men jump from woman to woman and sleep with woman to woman just so he can run from himself and feel validated by himself. He just want to feel good for 1 second. And a lot of women are right there to allow that man to use them. And what I just heard Rich say, it kind of put me in the mind of this, what I was just looking at. When he said it's safer being alone for men and women, that's what he just said in the comment section. So I looked up this situation about domestic violence, because since I've been living out here in Vegas, I've been in May, it'll be 2 years that I've been out here in Vegas, and I have witnessed so much domestic violence. Don't get me wrong, it happened a lot in Arkansas as well. I remember speaking to a man back when I was in Arkansas. I remember cutting a man hair that was from out of town, and he was out of town, but he ended up moving to Arkansas. But he said when he first ended up moving here, he was out driving drunk, doing some stupid stuff. So he was out driving drunk. He ended up going to jail for driving drunk. He said, don't you know, when I was in jail, he said, just taking a wild guess off the top of my head, about 75% of those men were in jail for domestic violence, for beating up their woman. So it took me to this status here when Rich said it's safer being by yourself. So the domestic violence has increased over the years. I'm pretty sure you guys heard about the big increase and the big jump in the percentage of domestic violence when it came to when the pandemic happened. But this says in the United States, domestic violence rates have steadily increased over the past few decades. This implies that over 10 million men and women experience physical abuse by the hands of their partners. In addition to NCAV domestic violence reports, that over half of these incidences occurred within the first few years of marriage. So the first what's up, Bougie Barbie? Shout out to my moderator, Bougie Barbie. Thank you for tuning in. We're talking about, are we better off being single? So here it says that domestic violence has went up tremendously over the past few years. Okay, so it kind of led me to this right here. Right below that statement, it says who has the highest domestic violence rates. Okay, so it says ethnicity in the United States, domestic violence, disappropriation of, it affects ethnicities of minorities. And I'm gonna be honest, like I said, out here in Vegas, as you guys probably know, Vegas is about a good 75 to maybe 78% Hispanics. So I all of the domestic violence that I witnessed was of Hispanic people. It says here amongst the ethnicities, $100 Xbox card, boy. You gonna spend $100 on an Xbox card? That's my son texting me. Oh my God. Hello, I'm new to your channel. I'm to say that I'm happily single. Oh, that's what's up. And I think, I'm sorry if I get your name wrong. I think that's Ratio. Yes, I'm happily single as well. And don't get me wrong. I do have like friends that I talk to on the phone and stuff like that. But as far as dating or like going out or sexual relations, I don't have sex with anybody. I'm not currently dating. Nothing like that. Like I am really like dead ass happily single right now. I'm not really on the tip of, oh, I'm celibate and this and that. Cause I'm not gonna lie, if the right person come along, I mean, I may just, jump on the ride, if you know what I mean. But I would be honest. Y'all know my birthday coming up next week on Friday and everything, March the 8th. Oh yeah, and I'm doing the Airbnb vlog, so you guys make sure you check that out for my birthday. But getting back to this domestic violence, this situation with the domestic violence is out of control. I don't like when I first got off into YouTube, I was doing a whole lot of news stories about a lot of different situations. But I don't know how long you guys been subscribed to me, but I actually ended up doing a story about a man who him and his pregnant wife ended up going on a hike, and they went up to the mountains and he pushed his pregnant wife off the mountain. I actually ran across a story, but I didn't do it because it's like those stories are so draining to me. But it was one man who ended up going on a hike with his girlfriend. Currently, she was his girlfriend. So he wanted to move the relationship a step further, and they ended up going on a hike. And I think like at the peak of the mountain, at the top of the mountain, he asked this young lady to marry him. She said no, and he pushed her off the ledge of the mountain because she denied his proposal. So going back to what Rich said, when Rich said it's safer being alone, Rich, I understand completely what you're talking about, because you're out here, and I'm not talking about, and I'm not putting it in the space of a man, and I'm not putting it in the space of a woman. I'm talking about both men and women. You have men and women out here who are not wrapped tight in the head. And then you have a person who's scared to be alone, who don't like to be alone, who probably, it's a lot of people out here who find it financially better to be in a relationship. You have people out here who, if they're not in a relationship, they're going to be homeless, or they're going to be out here scrambling, trying to find somewhere to live. So some people get into relationships for different reasons. Everybody not getting in a relationship because they're looking for somebody to love. So when you have a person who's not wrapped too tight in the head, probably dealing with not dealing with mental issues, people who are going through all kinds of stuff from past abuse and past things that they've been through, then they don't like being alone, and they get out here and they get with somebody, and their mate could be their next victim. It's insane. You know, it's crazy because not trying to just get off into my life or whatever, but as people probably know that know me, my son's father passed away back in 2006. And from what I heard, the girl who took his life, was a girl that he got with. It was right after we broke up. Some months and months later, just some months and months later, him knowing her through a lot of domestic violence. They was dealing with domestic violence a week or two after they met. These are two people who just wanted somebody, and she ended up taking his life. And then not only that, y'all, the plot gets thicker. From what I heard, this woman has took the lives of two other people since they've been together. It's really crazy because when you have really dysfunctional people and those dysfunctional people crave the company of another person, they're out here putting other people's lives at risk. Man, if you get in the wrong relationship, your life could be at risk. It's insane. It's insane. Going down to this, it says who gets abused the most. It says the women between the ages of 18 and 24 are most commonly abused by their intimate partner. 19% of domestic violence involves a weapon. That's a gun, a knife, or whatever. Y'all, it don't look like it's safe. You ain't safe. You ain't safe. It ain't safe. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. And like I said, I'm speaking from the opinion of a single woman. So, getting off into the next clip of what I was going to show you of, hey, are we better off single? So this woman, I think her name is Beatrice. Forgive me, Beatrice, if I got your name wrong, but Beatrice Green. So it says here, she ended up just telling a quick snippet of her story of her life. She said, first I wasted 4 years with a man that didn't care about me. Then I turned around and wasted 2 years with the same guy off and on who didn't care about me. Then I turned right back around and wasted another year trying to make it work with the same person who clearly didn't care about me. But listen, this is the kicker. It took a total of 8, almost 9 years to realize it was me that didn't care about me. Because in those years, I didn't accomplish anything in life. I was too busy chasing love. A lot of y'all think love make you better. Or it will take complete you. Or people think love will complete them. I think that's what she was trying to say. Or you think love will complete you. If you don't love yourself, you won't ever be complete. 100. What that young lady just said was so real. Man, when I say what she said was the realest of the real, wow, that is something else. And it's basically what I was just saying. It's basically the same thing I was just saying when I was saying people need to love themselves. And, not to stroll too far off into the comment section, but a young lady had commented, and this was posted about 2 weeks ago on Instagram. She ended up, she commented and she said, if you didn't explain my exact life, and she had laughing and crying faces. That is really sad that so many women can relate to what this young lady just said. So it's a big amount. So that shows it's a big amount of women, and probably a big amount of men too, who have, especially in your younger years, because your younger years are the vital years of your life. I mean, like I was talking I was speaking on a show one day that I was doing, and I remember it was a man who came up under my comment section, and you know how a lot of men, they try to gaslight women who choose to be single. And he was like, "Oh, you're just feeling like this because nobody wants you. That's why you think like this." And I remember commenting, and I was like, "Sir, I have been in relationships all of my life from the time I was 15 years old up until I was about 34. So from the age of 15 to 34, I was in relationships. Like, let's see, the first guy, my first, who broke my virginity, I got with him around 15, lost my virginity around that time. Me and him was together for a couple of years. Then right after that relationship, I got into another one. That was that second guy. That was the guy who I had witnessed his stepbrother and his daddy getting killed and stuff. And then let's see, and then I finished high school. I was with another guy. Come to find out, he taking me all around town. We going shopping, we hanging out together, this and that. Then I found out he had a girlfriend he was living with. This man came and met my mama, my family, and everything. I didn't even know he was in a whole relationship. And then, of course, you know, my first baby father, the one who got his life took, me and him was together 3.5, 4 years. You know, I had my first son by him. Then my second baby father, the one I met in Chicago, we was together for a while, engaged. The engagement didn't go through. And then, you know, when my son was younger, there was another gentleman I got with. Me and him was together for about 3, 4 years. And it was just relationship after relationship after relationship. So you can't sit and tell me like, don't nobody want me. I have guys making passes every day, different races, different ages, tall, short, black, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. Like, I have no problem with getting a man. It's just the type of, I'm not gonna say the type of man. I'm gonna say the mindset of most people, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna put this all on men. It's society. The mindset and the dysfunctional thinking of society has me where I feel like I'm better off alone. But that's just me. I'm not trying to push anybody else to say, you know, fuck man, I don't want this, I don't want that. But take a listen to this situation, and I'm gonna play it.
Keep up with her own beauty and vehicle maintenance, never go on dates, work 50 hours a week every week, never get shown off nor appreciated, always have to say I instead of we or mine instead of ours, and build by herself? Why would you ever think you're her man for real? That's crazy. She's not selling it, but it's not free. Men will watch a good woman do everything and let her just because they see that she can do it. She understands a man working on himself and trying to get his life together. But if you're not willing to take a risk and establish and build with her, then you're not ready. Two heads are better than one. And a relationship is supposed to benefit both parties financially, physically, and emotionally. Y'all are both grown, and after a while, being patient turns into settling and asking turns into begging. If she has to depend on herself and do everything herself, then she's gonna be by herself. If she has to pay all her bills by herself, keep up with her own beauty and vehicle maintenance, never go on dates, work 50 hours a week every week, never get shown off nor appreciated, always have to say I instead of we or mine instead of ours, and
Yeah, so that's the mindset of a lot of women right now. You know, you have a lot of guys that just feel like, oh, this woman just want to use me and this and that, but they still want to try to be in the presence of a woman to be up in her face, like the young man just said. It's not for sale, but it ain't for free. I feel him completely when he said that. It ain't for sale, but it damn sure ain't for free. I understand you completely. And I want to share this right here. I want to make sure I shout her out because last night I ran across this young lady. Her name is, she almost got the name of Priscilla, but it's her name is Priscilla. I think that's her name. Priscilla, Priscilla. Okay, so I ran across this young lady and she ended up making a video here, and it's titled, Why Are Men No Longer Obsessed with Women? So I'm going to get off into this video, and I want you guys to listen. Periodically, I'm just going to stop it, do a little talking, do a little commentary, but just listen to this.
none whatsoever. It's like your sense of entitlement is out of control. Your expectations are unrealistic. Y'all walk around showing your bodies half dressed, half exposed 24/7, out smoking, drinking, partying 24/7, on the scene 24/7. A lot of y'all are not even coming with nothing to the table because you're too busy with your hand out trying to see what man got the next bag so he can sponsor your lifestyle to make you look like you're living a lifestyle to post on the internet. It's like a lot of y'all don't have common sense. A lot of y'all don't know how to hold a conversation. A lot of y'all don't have no originality about yourselves. Everybody is getting the same body. Everybody is getting the same hairstyle. Everybody looks the exact same. And it's like, y'all get that confused. Oh, well, men like that. No, men will fuck that. But men are not wiping that and they're not cuffing that. And I think y'all are starting to realize that. And then the first thing y'all want to say is,
let me stop this right quick. Not talking down on what this young lady is saying, because overall I kind of see what she's hinting towards. But I'm gonna say this. Yes, it's BBL bodies out here, baby, that's getting wiped up. Let's keep it 100. We all watch I'm not sure that all of us watch reality TV, but what I'm saying is these BBL bodies are getting wiped up. And then you're not taking away from your message or whatever, or just trying to take any shots at you, young lady. But what you have on while you're talking about in this video, how women walking around in skimpy clothes and they're drinking and smoking or whatever. I can see your camel toe, baby. While you in this video, I can see your camel toe. You have on a really short shirt. It's almost showing your stomach. So, you're not up here dressed like a nun while you're coming at how other women choose to dress. And that really really trips me out when I see other women. I was just talking about earlier in the video, the pick-me type of women. This is a good example. Now, her message is not all the way off. I'm not going to completely take her message from her about what she's saying, because it is some women who have too much showing and don't leave anything to the imagination. But what I'm saying is, honey, are you way different from the women that you sitting up here talking about? I don't know.
oh, well, they're gay, they're sassy. No, they're not. They're just tired of what you guys are presenting. And if y'all are here to give them free pussy, free looks, and free everything they ain't got to work for, why would they? But they're never going to take you serious. So it seems to me like...
But just keeping it 100, though. Just keeping it 100, honey. It's a lot of men out here that run across really good women. I'm talking about women that's not in the club, women that go to church, women that's covered up. And then women be boring to them. They still keep them women on the side, or some of them have them as like their main girl and stuff like that. But a lot of men don't value the women that's covered up. So it's like you're doing this gaslighting type of talking, but at the same time, let's just be 100. A lot of men want them weaved up, big booty, body done type of women. Them be the women that they do the woman at home wrong for. They be doing their wives wrong for the same woman that you describing, baby. So when you get up here on these platforms and you talking like this, you also making it bad for yourself too.
Like a lot of y'all are now starting to realize that you're either losing value or have lost value from chasing attention. And now that's something that y'all got to deal with, and y'all can't face that fact. Men love women that are exclusive, women that are put up, women that every man can't say he had or can have.
But honey, the put up woman, that put up woman who is exclusive is getting cheated on by a girl with long weave to her ass crack with a done up body. See, women like her and women like Love Dorsey. I don't know if y'all familiar with Love Dorsey, but women like them, they get up here and they talk like this in these videos because they're trying to adhere, and they're trying to they're trying to get the fan base of a lot of men. She has a lot of red pill type of talking points. But them same men, they're only using you to try to get women in submission so they can use them. And the same men that you're taking up for, while you're saying, yes, these men do want real relationships, but they don't want the relationships with the woman who's showing her ass. Girl, you know them men out there with a put up woman in the house and they cheating with old Sally out in the street with hair down to her ass crack and makeup, so much makeup on you can't even tell the real her from the natural her. So these gas lighting videos are so irritating to me. I'm sorry, it's irritating. She seems to dislike women. Thank you. And it's so many women on platforms out here like this. A lot of these women out here don't like other women. And they sit and they talk like this so they can get the favor of other men. The same men who ain't gonna do nothing but use them up.
Simple as that.
What do you think about this? Is she speaking truth or is she not speaking truth? Personally, I couldn't stop looking at the way she was dressed because she was talking about
That's what I was just talking about, the way she would dress. I was just talking about that. Listen to this though. I'm gonna skip on through here.
In their mind, they're the catch, and women should chase them. But that was never how it was intended to be. As men by nature, we are hunters. Women are the catch. We gotta put the work in. But these men are too self-absorbed, and they expect a woman to do everything.
And he just said how things are originally supposed to be set up. Women are supposed to be the catch, and men are the hunters. So it's just mind-boggling to me when I sit up here and I hear other women say, men are the prize. I be thinking, girl, do you know how you're setting things up to be so fucked up for you, for yourself? And then when they get in a relationship with a man who feel like that and they gotta jump through hoops, turn upside down, bounce on their head just to try to make this dude happy, they sit back and flash back. Well, I did say he was the prize. A lot of them women feel like men are the prize just because they have money or just because they make a certain amount of money. Money don't make men the prize. That's really irritating when I hear like a woman say it. That's the most irritating thing to me.
Okay, because I've seen a lot of videos of these PP bros and what they do out there when they go to other countries.
Congrats, Carol. Now you're really going to have to get those new.
If I could skip through these videos. Hold up, you guys. Let me skip through this commercial.
Dentures. Good thing Aspen Dental is.
Okay, so these are the passport bros. This is where the passport bros go when they're out of town. Just take a look at this, and I'm gonna get my commentary.
Oh yeah, you know I gotta get this. This is happening right now as we speak, J Money. Oh man.
Okay, so this is one of the passport bros. He's I think out in Venezuela or he's somewhere, Dominican Republic, something like that. But he's walking down on the club strip. As you can see, the women who he's following and filming, they are dressed pretty scantily clad, might I say. And the same women who they talk about in America who are out, dressing skimpy and they're going out and they're smoking and they're drinking in the clubs and they don't want a real man. They're not exclusive and they're not put up. These are the same women that they're chasing when they go overseas.
Nah, they out here.
The women there don't dress differently. Because she's saying that you're out there partying 24/7. That's exactly what they do when they go.
Thank you. That's what I just said. She just repeating the same thing I said. This is the same thing I just said. So what I'm saying is don't let these guys gaslight you. And that's another thing that really turns me off from today's modern men out here. They are complete gaslighters. And I will not allow myself to be subjected to none of that gaslighting. That's why I can't deal and I won't deal. And you know, they sit and say, "Oh, I'm going overseas so I can find a woman and make a family." I don't see a lot of people. I don't see a lot of these passport bros even getting married. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see a lot of them out here getting married. But listen to what this gentleman had to say about worldly women. Okay, listen to what this gentleman got to say. Shout out to him.
Anytime you see a man crying over a woman and his feelings about a woman, it's always about a hoe. Men don't be tripping about the good girl. Men don't be caring about that girl who's consistent, the girl who's always there. They don't be tripping about her. They be tripping over some hoe. It always be a hoe with a fat booty, and she be on Instagram and she get flown out, and all the men be falling in love with her. All the men be giving her attention, straight up. It's just some girl that he met in the club that it would just be a one night stand, and now he got feelings for her, straight up.
Now listen, men sit up here and say, I don't love these hoes, I don't want no hoe. Listen, every man love a hoe. Every man is different, but every man love a hoe. Me personally, I need you to have like 30% hoe in you. You know what I mean? That's what I need. That's my level. But you got to be an honest hoe. You can't be a lying hoe and you can't be a filthy hoe. But if you got 30% hoe in you, yeah, we good. You know what I'm saying? Like an old retired hoe who used to be a hoe, you know what I mean? But she, cleaned up her act, but she still got some hoe tendencies. That's what I like. You see what I'm saying? Because when we get behind closed doors, you're going to know how to please me. You're going to know what to do.
See, that's what their mind frame is. They thinking about getting pleased. That's all they thinking about. So he said he want a woman to have 30% hoe in her. He want her to have 30% of her.
You know what I mean? If you ain't never done nothing, you a goody two shoes, you ain't never slept with a man and his cousin, I can't deal with you.
You ain't never slept with a man and his cousin, he can't deal with you. So what the young lady was saying in the previous video, girl, throw that all out the window. Because them women get up in them videos and stuff like that, people like her and Love Dorsey and people like her, and they sit and try to talk on the behalf of what they feel like a man won't. But them men will cheer them on when they talk like that, because all they doing is using you as the pet bull to keep these other women in line. But they don't value what the hell you saying. They really be sitting back laughing like, this girl really thinks she got us figured out. This girl don't know shit about a man and how a man think. This man just said if you ain't slept with a man and his cousin, he really don't want you. These men want a promiscuous woman. They want the woman out here twerking and busting it open and dancing the sexy red with the long hair weave down, tickling her ass crack. They want women like that. And then women think they sitting up in the cars and they talking about y'all women just ain't enough for these men. Y'all want a man to just pay attention to you and just be with you. You don't be enough for these men. No, because that man want that hoe. That man want that girl with that BBL booty. Look, Bougie Barbie said he sound like a fool. I swear to God, he sound like a fool. Sitting up there looking like young Jeezy cousin. Don't he look like Jeezy cousin? And look, Rakio, he said no thanks. He like OMG, no thanks. So he don't want the girl that slept with the cousin, and yeah, he don't want the girl that slept with the man and his cousin. This guy actually said, if you haven't slept with a man and then slept with his cousin, I really don't want you. It's that y'all be honest, and people that even come back and watch the playback, be honest. Is what this man saying correct? I really want to know, because it really and this pushes my point further to I'm better off single. If men out here have the same mind frame as this young man up here, and I'm gonna be honest, this man is a nice looking man. If I was out and about and he probably tried to like come up to me and holler, I'd probably talk to him. I don't know. Not saying I get into a relationship with him, but I'll probably talk to him to see what his mind frame like. But once he gets to talking like this, I'm be completely turned off. I don't know. Am I the only woman? But if I'm listening to a guy, he could look handsome and everything. But once that man get to talking, if he say something to turn me off, once I'm turned off, you can't turn me back on. I'm not like a light.
I need a little bit of hoe in you. You know what I mean? And every man feels this way, but he's not going to say that.
When I posted that video of the guy who was saying, why do women wear wigs and all that? A lot of women came on in the comment section to say, when I'm natural, no man even looks at me. But a lot of women have been forced
And I'm
to change their ways to accommodate the men in their society.
What this young lady just said is so true. You hear men say, I don't want the woman with the makeup. I don't want the woman that I don't want the woman that got all the weave in her hair. Man, when I'm walking around here with my afro all juiced up and curly and all that, I don't have no lashes on, no makeup on. Ain't no man looking at me like that. But once I put the wig on, beat my face a little bit, throw on some lashes, and have on my little fit, it's men looking then. So you cannot tell me, don't let these men gaslight you and have you out here walking around looking like silly from The Color Purple with your hair all twisted up in your afro. Don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with natural. Under my wig is natural hair. But what I'm saying is you dress how you want to look, do what make you comfortable. And that's the thing about a lot of these relationships. A lot of these men, they gaslight women so damn much, these women forget who they are because they trying to sit here and trying to be attractive to this man, so they lose who the fuck they are. Because to sit here and try to make these men happy, the woman has to be unhappy. And then in most of these relationships, that man really don't care about your happiness. Yeah, he probably buying you stuff here and there. Yeah, he probably brought you a teddy bear, a couple of balloons so you could post it on Facebook and quote unquote stunt on all the other single hoes, or stunt on the women who probably didn't get nothing for Valentine's Day. He probably pay a few bills. He probably do this, do that, do that. But at the end of the day, that man is not truly, sincerely caring about your happiness. So most of the time in these relationships, you see the woman end up drained, tired, unhappy, going through hell, going through this and going through that just to say she got a man so she can keep that man at home. She go through the most. And the man sitting around there replenished and happy because for the most part, everything is benefiting him. So I feel like if I got to sit and change who the hell I am, I don't need to be with nobody. If you can't take my personality, I don't need to be with you. If you can't take a joke, don't be around me. I have been around guys because I'm a joking, I'm a highly energy joking type of person. You know what I'm saying? And I have been around guys, oh, don't say that. Oh, don't do that. Don't do. Bitch, shut up. I'm tired of you. That's why I'm by myself, because I'm not finna sit and fake. I'm not finna be fake just to try to make no man happy. That ain't me.
Society's needs.
I heard this girl, Sadie, talking about how it's really hard to be a good woman because there's no market for a good woman. It's really hard. A lot of men, they say, I want a traditional woman. I want a girl to do all these things for me. But then you have a man that goes on Instagram and then lusts all these half-naked photos. And then when their girl is like, okay, well, maybe this guy likes bikini photos. So then this good girl posts a photo in a bikini. And then it's like, well, I don't want you doing that.
Thank you. That's what I don't get. That is what I do not get. I remember being in a relationship like that with a guy who always was on some Instagram models, quote unquote, prostitute page, and was always lusting over these girls, like leaving little drooly eye emojis and everything. And I'm like, well, once I get my little weight off, I might try to become me a Instagram model and hashtag a couple of Fashion Nova outfits and, get out, getting, I don't want my girl doing that. If you gonna do that, I don't want to be with you. But you want to comfortably look at other women. But when you have a woman who's really like covered up and conservative, you looking at other girls who ain't got no clothes on. But you say that ain't what you want though. But that's what you looking at every time though. You sitting there with your regular little magazine and you got a damn Playboy on the inside of the magazine looking at that. But you say that's what you don't want. Y'all be so confused. And that's another reason why I'm better off single. A lot of these guys they will gaslight you and they will have you confused. They will have you second guessing yourself and feeling like you damn crazy.
It's like, okay, if you don't want me posting that, why are you lusting over that? Like,
okay, so if you're going out there and the women over there are dressing the same way as the women in your country that you're leaving behind, and you're finding those women more attractive than the women in your country, how come the women in your country are the problem?
Of dark-skinned men who hate themselves because they be actively searching for light skin.
Now, with this issue, I actually want to mention the passport bros. A lot of these passport bro men that go overseas to find women is because overseas is the foreign nature. A lot of men, when they don't love themselves because they hate themselves, and there's automatically a fight for them to have mixed babies or whatever the case may be, a lot of these men can only have mixed babies with foreign women. Only foreign women. And I want you ladies to understand that a lot of men do not have to go out the country to find a foreign woman. We know that. But I'm also saying this to say, besides making mixed babies, a lot of men have personality traits that make them feel superior, like dating a foreign woman.
Hold you accountable.
I see exactly what he's saying, because basically he's saying how a lot of guys get their ego fed. They get their ego fed when they go and get the foreign women, because they feel like those women are the standard of beauty. And if they're able to obtain and get one of them women, they feel like they have achieved what they needed to achieve. Listen to this this young lady. I think she's from Cuba. She's from somewhere else. But listen to what she said. I'm going to let this play. Listen to this close.
The women over there, they don't know you much. Okay? To be honest, they don't care.
I'm from Colombia. If you're a Colombian girl, you have 3-4 American guys approaching you, offering you money and pulling out their passport, like literally, and then telling you, I'm American, like I'm actually looking for a girl, like I will bring you here. But it's just odd, like why you wanna get with a girl that doesn't speak your language and that makes up to $200 a month. You know, it's just odd. Like I don't want to point fingers, but it's like, why are you looking for that when you can get a girl? Why can you not get in America? You know, why you cannot get a girl?
Is this black guys or white guys?
Thank you. So what a lot of these passport bros really don't realize is that when you guys are going overseas, those women overseas are looking at y'all like y'all are suckers, and they're looking at y'all like y'all lame, and they're also looking at y'all like, what is wrong with you where you cannot obtain a woman in the country where you reside? America is the land of the free, the home of the brave. America is the land of milk and honey. You can't obtain a woman over there. What's wrong with you? So I think that's where the passport bro delusion comes in at. Finish listening to what she says.
I saw a lot of black guys, you know, it's odd. Like the desperation that they exude is just weird.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinar?
She said it's just weird. So the guy that was interviewing her in that podcast, she said, so who's doing this? Is it the black guys? She said it's a lot of the black guys that's doing it. It's the black guys that's doing it. That's what she just said. Y'all heard her? Okay, hold on. Let me pause this. Let me go back and see what this just said. So yeah, hold on. I'm gonna let y'all listen to what the man had just asked her. She said it's a lot of the black guys. Hold on.
I will bring you here, but it's just odd. Like why you wanna get with a girl that doesn't speak your language and that makes up to $200 a month.
Thank you. She said, why do you want to get with a girl who not only doesn't speak your language, she only makes $200 a month? And y'all know a lot of these guys out here, let's just keep it 100, not trying to put nobody down, but just being honest. A lot of these black guys that get up on these podcasts talking about how they want the woman to go 50-50 with them. How can you afford flying this woman back and forth? And y'all know a lot of these women that's overseas, they take care of their mothers, their grandmothers, and this and that. Y'all guys can't afford to take care of a woman whole family. A lot of them can barely afford to take care of themselves. So you want to go over there and get with a woman that's in a dire situation that only makes $200 a month, and you showing off your money and your passport to her. Like, yeah, I'm looking for a woman like you. I'm looking for a woman in a downtrodden situation like you.
You know, it's just odd. Like, I don't want to point fingers, but it's like, why are you looking for that when you can get a girl? Why can you not get in America? You know, why you cannot get a girl?
Is this black guys or white guys?
I saw a lot of black guys. You know, it's odd. Like, the desperation that they exude is just weird. So,
okay, in this little quote, it says, "Looks like the preference ain't so desperate for cash as the Pookies thought." Ain't that desperate?
Right? And if you are going to these places to wave your passport and money into the faces of women who need money, right?
And that's why a lot of them end up getting robbed over there. Y'all over there waving y'all passports and waving y'all cash trying to impress these girls. And these girls overseas, they're only looking at you as a sucker ready to be licked. Shout out to Cynthia G.
Right? And a better life. What do you think is going to happen?
They're going to get robbed.
You're going to worship the very ground you walk on because you have some money to spare. Okay? They will. Yes, they'll treat you like the king.
And try to find a wife and or a girlfriend. So you're willing to put in the work to be with a woman from a different country, but you can't figure it out in your own country where you guys share the same language. At some point in time, you have to self-reflect and figure out what your true issue is, because there's no way in the world it's easier to go to a different country and find a woman unless that woman is being with you and or has a different motive. Because what I'm starting to hear is some of these men are going to these different countries and now their life is at risk because the natives are starting to realize, hey, y'all aren't coming over here with the right intentions. I've never understood the passport, bro.
And that's where they get in danger when they go overseas and the people who are there realize you're not over here for the right reason. You're recording our women's behinds and you're sexualizing them. And you got us out here looking bad, looking desperate because you're over here in a country where people don't have a lot of means, they don't have a lot of money, and you're over here taking advantage of us. That's why they end up getting robbed, getting their head knocked off when they go overseas. Well, now their ignorance with all these young ladies are getting them eliminated. Thank you. Exactly. And that's what that young man just talking about in this video. Their ignorance is getting them eliminated. Thank you. Their ignorance getting them eliminated. Let me see what else I seen in this video. It was a couple of other good points I seen people make. This is a very well put together video that this young lady just put together here. Y'all make sure y'all go and subscribe to her. Her name is Priscilla or something like that. I almost thought she trying to take my girl Priscilla name. I'm like, hold up. I don't know if she did that on purpose. So when people Google her, they pull her up. I don't know.
Weird. Like, there is no progression from day one to the day you get married. It's exactly the same.
Like I said, is he delusional? You need therapy. I always said that. He's not even thinking about building an emotional or intellectual relationship with this woman. He thinks if we don't have any intimacy or any form of it, then it's just going to be stagnant. It's going to be funny, stale,
right?
Like
Stale.
Yeah,
funny.
So you see, in that gentleman there, I think he was a white guy. So when these women are in these divesting groups where you feel like, oh, I'm gonna leave the Pookies and the Ray Rays and the black guys behind, and I'm gonna go get me a white man. These white men have the same mindset as all these other men. These Asian men got the same mindset as all these other men. So y'all think y'all jumping board and trying to divest and jump into another community in a group of Asians and a group of the white men. They thinking the same way. They sitting here around women, or they sitting up on these podcasts talking about, I want a woman who's exclusive. I want a woman who's put up. I want a woman who every man ain't had. No, the hell they don't want that. This man just said he want a woman to put out the first day. He wants you to. I love the Queen Maker too. I love her. Yes, I said I'm actually when I get paid Friday, I'm actually gonna go to Amazon and get her book. I'm gonna start off with the 5 components of love. I'm gonna do a review on it too, so y'all make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to me if you're not, because I'm gonna do a review on that book. I know the book been out a while, but everybody haven't read it, so I'm gonna do a review on there. If y'all want to hear that, y'all make sure y'all subscribe and hit that notification bell. But yeah, it's funny how they say they want an exclusive woman who put up, but you want her to put out on the first night. What these men always say is so contradicting, and it always takes me back to this. It always takes me back to this. I'm gonna finish playing that video. It only had maybe about 3 minutes left or whatever, but I want y'all to take a listen to this right here, and I pulled up the exact definition here. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to look up the definition, not that. Okay. So I'm just sitting here like, what these men say they want, they really don't want. They just do this to play games with you. A lot of these men do not want the best for y'all women. But I'm gonna tell you this: what's gonna keep women chasing men? Because in the dynamic of the dating world, the usual how these marriages go, the women chasing the men. It's not supposed to be like that. And that's why the foundation of a lot of these marriages and the foundation of a lot of these relationships are so dysfunctional. Because the dynamic of it is unnatural. It's very unnatural. So I'm going to share this, but I'm going to get back off into that video because they had a lot of good points going on. But getting off into this definition right here, let me make sure it's sharing. Okay, it's sharing. Okay, so they're talking about gaslight, and yet another tactic of power and control. Abusive partners can use gaslighting to confuse and manipulate a survivor. So these men out here, most of them are the king of gaslighting. They use gaslighting to manipulate and control you. This type of psychological abuse involves an abuser denying a survivor's memories of events. So it's like when they do something traumatic to you and you be like, what about when you did this? What about when I caught you in the car getting head from that guy? Oh, you didn't see that. That wasn't me. But I saw you on the camera. It wasn't me. You know? So they can sit and take something that you actually seen them do and say, you crazy, you didn't even see that. And then it also says it puts the abused person in the position where they're questioning their own perspective of reality and accusing the survivor of going crazy. They be telling you, oh, you going crazy. You going crazy. That ain't true. That ain't true. So this is another reason why I chose to opt out of relationships. And I'm gonna let you guys look at these 7 top gaslighting red flags. Listen, it also says dang, it's not, oh yeah, it's basically the same thing I just yeah, it's the same thing that I had just ended up reading to you. So yeah, the same breakdown, what they talking about in this video. Gaslighting. That's the number one manipulative tactic that men use to keep women in submission. And women love it. They love it. You gotta love it because you stay there. If it's something that makes you so uncomfortable, you move from that uncomfortable situation. But let me tell you what it is. Y'all have gotten so used to the dysfunction. Y'all feel like it's natural and y'all feel like it's okay. That's why a lot of them stay in that the dynamic of the man and the woman. And I don't know if I've been listening to Priscilla for probably about 3-4 months. Let me see, when did Cynthia G get kicked off? And when Cynthia G got kicked off of YouTube, somebody, and I did a video about it, somebody commented Priscilla under my comment section. I've been listening to her ever since. So I think it's been maybe about 4 months. But I understand where Priscilla is coming from when she say the whole dynamic of men and women is based on dysfunction. That's why most of it never works.
You're not trying to connect with the women. They want a deeper relationship other than just sex. If exclusivity is what men desire, and they don't want women that have slept with a lot of men or their body count is high, please stop sleeping with the young women. Why don't you make that change for the next generation? Stop sleeping with 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, breaking their virginity, traumatizing them, and creating the same women that you're complaining about. Problem solved.
Thank you. Thank you. A lot of the men out here are creating the same women that they claim that they hate. A lot of them are creating those women that they say they don't want. And then once they get with those women, like she said, you're getting with these women, you're breaking their virginities, you're screwing up their minds, you're manipulating them. Then once you use them up the way that you wanted to, then you say, I don't want you no more. You too old. You 26. Who was that? I'm trying to think. He is an actor. Is it Johnny Depp? Johnny Depp said once they turn 25, 26, he going to get another 20-year-old. He don't mess with women under the age. He don't mess with women over the age of like 25, 26. And that's because once they reach that age, they look at them like they're old. And then another reason why a lot of those men only want young women is because they haven't been through a whole lot. And they don't have a lot of knowledge and wisdom about life. So, you heard the girl in that video talking about, a lot of y'all can't sit up and hold no conversation. A lot of those men don't care about you being able to hold no conversation because they don't even want to hear you talk. And to be honest, how most men are, listening to a woman talk is irritating to them. Let's just be honest.
That's how you create the women that you're complaining about. When you pick up young women who are pure, who don't know anything, right? And you disappoint them because you don't have any good intention, you have no direction in life. You create the same women over and over and over again. And somehow...
Thank you. And then the first thing that they tell the woman after they damaged her, they say, you should have chose better. Another gaslighting tactic. That's why I cannot and I will not deal in another relationship. It's total dysfunction. You sit and damage a woman, do her dirty, take her down through the ringer, and then you say you should have chose better. Boy, y'all can keep doing it if you want to.
It's the women's fault. Oh, I left you because you don't know how to dress. She's not a baddie. She's so boring. Okay, she's not good in bed. No, she's this and she's that.
And of course, at the end of the day, if a woman have not had a lot of partners, if a woman has not had a lot of experience, she's not gonna be She's not gonna be an acrobat in bed. She's not gonna know how to do everything in bed if she ain't had a lot of bodies. If she ain't had no experience, no, she not gonna be good in bed. It's some stuff you might have to teach her. A lot of these guys not willing to teach her. They want a woman to be seasoned. Like I heard Kevin Gates say. I heard Kevin Gates actually say, and I need to find that TikTok while I'm talking about it. Cause I want y'all to hear Kevin Gates say it. Y'all know Kevin Gates say a lot of stuff. But let me see if I can find this. I'm gonna go to TikTok because I bet you it's on there. Okay, let me see. Kevin Gates. Yep, I actually heard him say that. Kevin Gates wants. Let's see. Okay, it said Kevin Gates wants a. I think this is what he said because I don't want to I don't want to put out any quotes that the man didn't say, but I believe this is what he said. Kevin Gates said that he want a ran through woman. Kevin Gates actually said he want a woman that's ran through. Kevin Gates wants a okay. Okay, let me see if this will pop up. Because I heard Kevin Gates say this. And I'm not lying. I'm not making this up. Let me see. Let me see if it come up. Let me see. Is this the one? Oh my God. Oh, hold up. Hold up. Ooh. I can't play that. That got music in it. Listen to what he said though. I can't find the actual quote. I don't want to hold y'all up too long. But listen to what he said.
Hey, I got a big long dick, so I ain't tripping on what you did with him. He not
But
fucking, he can't fuck you like I'm fucking you. He not fucking you like I'm fucking you. So you can go fuck him all day. You know where you gonna come back to? That day.
Okay, so you heard that. So that was a snippet of what he said. But let me tell you this, because I got a good memory. I have a very good memory. Okay. Kevin Gates actually said this. Kevin Gates said, I want a woman that's a little bit ran through. Because that woman that didn't had a lot of men, she gonna know how to please me. It's basically what the other man had said in the other video when he said he want a woman that's kind of like a whore. It's basically what he said. So is that you, Marcus? Oh, you got out of school early. So yeah, a lot of those guys, they actually think like that. They actually want a woman that's seasoned and ran through, but they sit and gaslight. They gaslight the women, telling them, "Oh, I don't want a woman that did this, this, and that." They do that to gaslight you, to sit you still, and to confuse you. Okay, listen to what she said. What she's saying. They do that to confuse you. That's where they want your mind at. They want you confused. They don't want you to be out here focused. And when a woman jumps from one relationship to another, and you don't give yourself time to heal, just like when I be hearing people like, when I hear people say, yes, I'm gonna get healed from this relationship before I get off into another one. Girl, you just gonna heal your heart so you can go out and get your heart broken again. Because that's all that's gonna happen.
It's so hard to be around her. I want something different. Okay, this is body. This is a body. I want to be around a body, a woman who knows what she's all about. Oh, she's always at home taking care of the kids. There's nothing special about her. You know, I want a woman who has her own. Then you go there to, oh, she's too loud mouth. I don't like that. I want somebody. What do you want? What exactly do you want?
They don't know.
Tell me about your new neighbors.
They're black.
There's just something real strange about her, you know?
There she is. Living next door to a race.
You're a little too tough, yo. You gotta. You a little too
things
tough.
just have to make
When I
sense,
be
like-
watching you, a little too tough. I'm serious. You gotta, feminine. You a feminine looking woman. You beautiful. It's okay. Rest in your femininity.
Oh, I'm always in my femininity.
Well, rest in it.
I never
'Cause
feel like I have to
when
be
you
masculine.
talk. When you talk about it on here, you be a little aggressive.
No, I'm not aggressive. Men are just.
He is so uncomfortable by that woman presence. He is so uncomfortable because she can strongly speak. If she don't sound like she don't sound like this, and she's not talking like this. She's talking firm and she's talking with a assertive voice in it. And you can look and tell the way he's holding and clenching his hands on that couch. That makes him really uncomfortable. So that's why they use those gaslighting words like, you need to rest in your femininity. Because you sound too strong the way you talk. A strong woman intimidates them. That's why when a lot of those women get to certain ages, they don't want to deal with them, because most of the time, once a woman get in her late 20s and she's about to hit 30, that's why they say she up against the wall. Once she gets knowledge and wisdom about life, once she gets to that point where she has knowledge and wisdom, then they know that's when the woman starts setting boundaries. So you will hear a lot of men be like, well, why you had to wait until you in your 30s and you done had a couple of kids to want to get some standards and boundaries? Because that's when women settle off into wisdom around that age. When you don't have wisdom and you don't know a lot of stuff, you ain't gonna have no boundaries because you don't know shit. That's when women get those standards, when they end up realizing who they are and they start growing into themselves as a woman. So of course they're not gonna let you run over them. Of course it's gonna be look, Rico said he fragile. You can look and tell that man fragile. He looked like he is just bothered by that woman's presence. He like, dang, she fine and everything, but she making me feel uncomfortable how strong she talking. And Barbie said, yeah, he sounded like he was really telling her not to speak. Thank you. He basically telling her not to speak. Like, we on a whole podcast, and basically this man telling me not to say nothing. Like, what the hell kind of podcast are we on? But let me finish hearing what she got to say. This video just got a couple of more minutes left.
Not used to a woman that looks like me.
What?
Being factual. They want women that look like me to be emotional and be like, oh,
But
you guys, this is how I feel, and I just want to be.
Oh, that's what I was just saying. They want a woman that's, I just feel like this, and I just feel like a man just needs to listen to a woman, and that man needs to really, it's not just about the money. He just needs to really care about my feelings, and I want him to just spend quality time with me and love me, and I know and I understand that you're gonna sleep with other women, and I'm okay with that. See, you need to go over there on a Fresh and Fit podcast, because them the kind of women they have over there. They have them Instagram models / OnlyFans models / prostitutes on their shows. Most of them be under the age of 24. They're young, impressionable women. I think those are the women men like him are more comfortable with. But women who sit straight up, it can have a conversation with you straight up and speak from their chest and speak with confidence and knowing how they feel, and they'll tell you how they feel and don't give a damn about how you feel about how they feel. Those kind of women intimidate men like him. Even though she pretty, she confusing him because he like, dang, this woman's so beautiful, but she just too strong.
I don't think like that because that's you think like that, you're gonna get ran over your whole life. If I was fat and ugly, y'all wouldn't care about what I was.
American baby voice. That's what the men love. They love a woman that talk with that little bitty voice like that. They love that. Like that gets their rocks off. That rises their rocks when they hear women talk like that. Cause they know.
But because of how I look, y'all be like
your boy off of Highly Initiated said when he said he need a woman that's impressionable. That's what he's talking about. He want a woman like that with that little Miss America, little baby voice, the little naive, I don't know nothing voice. Them the women that they want right there. Just to be honest.
Oh, she's so aggressive.
I'm just saying, you could do it in a feminine way.
No. No, thank you.
Don't be so aggressive. It's
what's
okay.
feminine? What's feminine?
You.
How do you speak in a feminine way? I don't understand.
No,
that.
I'm just saying.
And as for women looking for men to provide a
feminine way, they don't want you speaking at all. Let's just be honest. Like Bougie Barbie said, yeah, he sound like he is telling her not to speak. Thank you. He telling her not to speak. And he said being intelligent is too aggressive. Yes, being intelligent is considered to be aggression when it comes to the weak, ego-driven male. Just a woman talking with a woman talking with confidence, a woman speaking loud, that's considered to be aggressive to them. They don't want a woman questioning them about their beliefs. Anything like that is considered to be aggressive. She's questioning me. Anything when it comes to a male with a weak ego, anything could be considered disrespectful. In a marriage or a relationship, if a man came home and he had numbers falling out of his pocket and a hickey on his neck, and the woman was like, how did you get this on your neck? Whose phone number is this? Oh, she disrespecting me. I ain't having this. She disrespected me. And then the man with I'm telling you, the males with the weak egos, these are the most guys that you need to avoid because those are the guys who will, all of them really cheat on you, just to tell you the truth. But those are the guys who will cheat the easiest because the smallest little thing, if they feel like you're wrecking or poking at their ego, which is already fragile as hell, you might as well look at it like those boxes that get delivered to your house that say, be careful, this fragile. Their egos are like that. So when you get with guys like that and you touch their ego and he feel like you have tainted his ego in just a little bit, that'll be the man that'll cheat on you the quickest. Now all of them will cheat, but that'll be the man that'll cheat on you the quickest. So be careful when it comes to those guys with them super duper duper fragile egos. Be super careful when it comes to that. Be careful, be careful, be careful. And this is another one I wanted to show y'all too.
A slap in the face, so I
Listen to
recommend you
this.
don't watch this. No man will ever appreciate you being friendly, kind, or accessible. I'm sorry to tell you, but the number one way to get a man to stop appreciating you is to put your life on hold for every single one of his needs. If he does not feel like you have anything going for yourself, and he is the best part of your life, oh my God, he will play you like a fiddle. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be a good person, but there is a such thing as being too nice. Because it's hard to see you as a real person when you don't have your own individualism outside of the relationship. Sprinkle in some mean,
Sprinkle in some I'm not available.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you hear what he said? Sprinkle in. Shout out to Sprinkle Sprinkle. Because that's exactly what he's saying. And when he was just saying a man doesn't appreciate that woman that's all friendly and their form. But what do they say in the manosphere? I want a woman who's feminine, fit, and friendly. They probably want the fit part. They want the fit part because they want her to be slim and fine and all that. But they don't want you to be them guys don't want you to be friendly. They don't want you to be nice. They don't want you to be nice. They don't want that. They do not want that at all. And women will just completely try to switch up their whole persona. That's what's mind-boggling to me. I'm sorry. I have to put my hand on my head. It's mind-boggling to me that you will try to switch up your whole personality to try to appease these men who will never ever sincerely appreciate or sincerely love you. Speaking of Sprinkle Sprinkle, listen to what she had to say. Shout out to her.
Okay. Rich or poor, they don't love you. They love what you can do for them and how you make them feel about themselves. That's it.
Thank you. Hold on, let me go to this.
So stop. Poor, they don't love you. Okay. Rich or poor, they don't love you. They love what you can do for them and how you make them feel about themselves. That's it. So stop investing your emotions in someone that can never love you. The type of love that you're looking for was the type of love you felt or you want to feel from your child or your mother or your unconditional relatives that love you unconditionally. You cannot feel that with a man because there are conditions on that love. Okay. So to make perfect sense, anyone that loves you conditionally does not truly love you. Okay. They only love you and the things you can do for them. They only love the things you can do for them or how you can make them feel. So stop basing your decisions of life based on how you think a man loves you. Even though they say they love you, they love what you can do for them and what you do for them. They don't love you because any woman can do that and they will love her too.
Thank you. Thank you. What she just said was so real. A lot of these men only love their wives. They only love their girlfriends for as far as what she can do and what she has to offer them. Why do you think you hear those men say, shoot, if my woman gained 20, 25 pounds, I'm divorcing her ass. But you ain't gonna be like, oh baby, let's get in the gym, let's switch up our food and let's get on our fitness shit. It's guys that have met women big as hell. It's guys that have met women when they was 200-300 pounds and they done got with these women, changed up their eating habits, brought different food, got a workout regimen going, and these women have lost weight. When a man sees you and he loves you, he will work with your flaws. A lot of these guys don't want to work with your flaws. As soon as they see any flaw that they feel like make them uncomfortable, they leaving you. That ain't love. That ain't love at all. And I understand where the Queen Maker is coming from when she says, men are incapable of love. Listen to what she's saying with it.
Let me tell you something. It ain't but one love. It ain't a million different loves. It's one love and men ain't capable of it. You only think like this because you didn't have a dad in your life. You didn't have no positive male role models. This ain't got nothing to do with me personally because the evidence and the research is out there.
Did you have a dad in your life?
Yeah, I did. I said, as a matter of fact, I said, talk to my dad.
And your mom?
Yeah.
So you was raised all the way up with your mom?
My dad was military. He was in the military for 20 years. I had a mentor also at 16 years old who was a political activist, right? The majority of people who I've been around have been male. Right? All the male talks about is what he need and what he want. It ain't never about what he gives. Just
Thank you. That's what I was just talking about. It's always about, well, a man. When women, when you sitting around listening to these group of guys, they're not sitting around talking about how they want to make a woman happy. It's all about them. And you wondering why a lot of women are opting out of that? Like, are you wondering why a lot of these men sit and call women crazy? They call you crazy for a reason, because you continue to deal with them thinking that they're gonna change. They not sitting calling you crazy for no reason. They calling you crazy because you actually have it in your mind that they can and they will change. That's why they think a lot of y'all women crazy. That is why. And when you hear a lot of these guys sitting around and they're having their conversations, you will never hear them talk about how they can kind of form themselves into doing stuff that actually make their wife happy. Yes. Oh, I know my wife, she likes these sunflowers, and I just know how she likes her little me time. So I ended up buying her a bottle of wine, and I brought her the sunflowers, and I stopped by one of her favorite restaurants, and I got her the eggs Benedict with the cheesy grits on the side, and I brought it home, and I ran her a bath, and I let her eat, and she enjoyed her flowers sitting at the kitchen table. And after that, I gave her a voucher so she could go to the spa and get her a mani and a pedi and get her a massage and a facial. Man, you don't hear men sitting around talking like that. These men don't care about your happiness. It's all about what you can do for them. And y'all wonder why y'all be in these relationships feeling drained. After years and years, you done shedded so many tears. But you know what? I gotta get dressed for work and everything. I enjoyed y'all. I'm most definitely gonna come with a part 2. But my part 2 is probably gonna be titled the modern day dysfunctional relationships and how it's better off for most of us to stay single. It'll be something like that. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Most definitely, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the thumbs up. Y'all come and watch the playback. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Most definitely, birthday vlog coming next week. We're going to be all through the city, all through Vegas. So y'all do not want to miss that. And I most definitely will be back with another one. And I am signing out. Katie Talk 1-on-1.